digging in, holding out. That is the last the Remnants could do in this location on Earth as the HOG-NT continued pushing through, ever forwards, ever strong. The Ascension has fallen. The only thing left is the Remnants, all that can stand to defend humanity, and they're forced to their backs against a wall. They're dug in, and they're refusing to back down even with the floodwaters rising. Their last holdouts fall one by one. Your objective as the commander of this mission is simple. Push the HOG-NT back, destroy the water pumps, and in general, fight back. Don't allow yourself to disappear and die. What's up, my precious little pack, and welcome back to Maelstrom. I got another scenario that I've taken roughly 30 minutes to set up for everybody. I hope you liked that short little intro to the video. But the primary objective is simple, to capture all water pumps or destroy the AI. Now, I've taken a little bit of time to amass a little bit of water resource. I have a little bit of spending resource to do whatever I want with before this fight gets underway. And I've decided I would set it up so I could start with a few different units. Now don't worry, this won't be the only video for today. I have one for VEGA planned. I'm going to talk about the current prize for the current event that's going on, the prize list. I'm going to give the overview and I'm going to recommend equipment, stuff like that, as well as recommend a few ship fittings. And later, after I wake up, I should be able to finish the token riot and get the time tokens necessary to finish the build time of my first Ogre battleship, so I can at least test a little bit against the targets that it was set up for. But without further ado, let's get right into this fight.
This is Buchanan. This is the wrecking yard. You drive it, we got it. Hoorah! Rocket Storm is good to go.
Okay, those are all dug in. I don't want to move them because they're actually doing their job because the AI keeps attacking from here. It's one of the reasons they're set up over here. They're the primary defense to block the AI from coming up from the south and just in generally wreaking havoc. But as I said, my goal is simple: to advance and defeat the AI. And I actually have a few Paladin artillery sitting at the back line because they're just cool to watch them fire. They aren't all that useful though, I will admit it. And here comes some pestilence.
They're targeting the water pump.
We rule the skies!
This is the wrecking yard. You drive it, we got it.
Whoa. And as you can see, the Paladins are very efficient when a target just sits there and just waits to die like that.
Location logged. We're moving to intercept.
Comes another assault.
Rendezvous at your location.
Let's see what actually makes it to the ground before it gets wiped out. Those iron sights are making short work of everything. With some heavy air support, I can kick everything down here.
Location logged. We're moving to intercept.
And these are what I was talking about, that are Humvees. They're not Humvees, they're actually called rocket buggies.
Rendezvous at your location.
And they're AA units. They fire homing missiles, one at a time, well, two at a time. And they destroy air units very easily. So against certain air targets, I should be using them, but it's not all that necessary.
Scrap shack responding.
And yes, I'm just going to amass an army of Valkyries and just swarm the AI because what's more entertaining than watch a highly advanced biological species of super advanced aliens that converted from effectively what we are turning into in real life, a advanced humanized species. They destroyed their own planet via overproduction and stuff like that, and their world just couldn't support them, so they changed every single aspect about them to all biological. So instead of using fuel and stuff like that, they started using themselves as building materials. They all started using biomatter and more and stuff like that.
This is the wrecking yard. You drive it.
And second, I have access to a full population because I actually set everything up in the back of the base. So I have access to the whole 120 infantry unit cap, well, standard unit cap. So I'm going to make a swarm of Valkyries, and I'm going to start burning everything down. And before I set everything up, I make sure that I start off with the top armor and attack. So all the units have the highest amount of health that they can have, and the highest amount of damage. But as you can see, Valkyries, they're a transport chopper with some serious heavy weaponry. However, they lack health, and they're very vulnerable to hero units such as Remnant and VEGA, the two alien faction leaders. And in the campaign, they actually have very different backstories. One of them wanted peace with the humans, and one of them, not going to say which, so if you guys want to play it, you'll actually have to play it and learn. Or I could do a campaign playthrough. But one of them wanted peace with the humans, one of them completely sabotaged it and murdered a group of humans. And, well, it led to the ultimate fights for survival. But let's go ahead and let's go start wreaking havoc, and all I have to do is destroy all their water pumps and all their leaders, and I'll win.
Valkyrie unit production is underway. This is
Okay.
Valkyrie. Go ahead.
Look at that.
Rendezvous at your location.
And yes, the Valkyries are a little bit overpowered, I will admit that, but I mean, just look at how cool they are. You can't complain or go wrong when you're bombing something out with these guys. I mean, ladies. And it doesn't matter if the target's underwater or above water, they're gonna blow it up anyways.
Location locked. We're moving to intercept. Rendezvous at your location. Valkyrie engaging.
Oh, and if you destroy the mutagen pumps, you can actually reduce the water level because whatever it produced is gotten rid of over time. So it'll take time for it to dissipate,
Rendezvous at your location.
but it will dissipate.
This is Valkyrie. Go ahead. Rendezvous at your location.
And it means it's a benefit because I can give myself a little bit more breathing room down here as opposed to actually sitting back and waiting to win.
Location locked. We're moving to intercept.
It's also why I'm taking the more aggressive stance of going in, destroying everything. And look how quickly that water clears up. It's because it's no longer pumping it out. All of this will slowly clear out.
Rendezvous at your location.
But the next species I'll play as will be the HOG-NT. Unless everyone wants me to do a campaign playthrough, then I'll start again from the beginning and play it through that way.
Location locked. We're moving to intercept. We're going in. Location
Come on,
locked.
don't
We're
stop.
moving to
Keep moving
intercept.
forwards.
We're going in. Valkyrie engaging.
I mean, look at this. They flooded their spawn area. It's just complete and utter anarchy over on their side. It's just completely drowned out and gone.
Valkyrie
At least it
engaging.
is for now, until I destroy all the mutagen pumps and start getting the water level to go back down. And also, the HOG-NT actually have an
Valkyrie
advantage.
engaging.
While their units are in water, they rapidly regenerate health, and it can be improved via upgrades, similar to how the Ascension and the Remnants can upgrade their units' attack damage, health, and stuff like that. The HOG-NT can actually upgrade their health regeneration, so it becomes effectively and efficient,
We're going in.
more so than it is by default, and it also encourages the player to rapidly advance the level of their technology, more or less, because the higher level their unit is, the more dangerous it's going to be.
We're going in.
Was that it?
Rendezvous at your location.
Did I destroy all their bases? No, that couldn't have been it.
Location
Oh,
locked.
their hero,
We're
I
moving to
know.
intercept.
Another thing is, most, if not all, heroes can create a base, with the exception of the Ascension. They have to rely on Vanguards. If you lose all your Vanguards, you effectively lose completely. Yeah, look at that chaos.
We're hit. We're going down.
And there we go. Auriga or Mammon are down in that bunch because they just pulled two of them out of the air, so I'm guessing they're both in that bunch. They're standing in the water. They have telekinesis, and they can pull air units just like that. They can pull them right out of the air, and they can destroy them. Very easily. Alright. Where are you at? Right there. There's one of them. Where's the other one? Oh, down here on the very edge of the map. Look at all these soldiers.
I got a situation here. Moving out, sir. Sir. Yes, sir.
It's just a massive swarm of infantry under my command.
Double time it.
Now, one thing I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to advance now, because now's the time that I've beaten them I should be advancing to take everything away from them. And I can't rely on helicopters to beat them again because,
Valkyrie unit
well,
production
as you
is
all
underway.
saw, Riga and Mammon, due to their telekinesis, they just pull them right out of the air and destroy them. And that is one of the weak points of all air units, is that units like that, in which there are a few different ones, they can pull them right out of the air and destroy them. There's nothing you can do about it. They can just utterly decimate your army like that.
Something's out there and it ain't friendly.
There we go. I'm going to use the survivors from these helicopter crashes. I'm going to start capturing the water pumps, because that's all I have to do is capture the water pumps if I can't kill their heroes off. And if their heroes are constantly in the water, there is next to nothing I can do. Okay.
Valkyrie unit production is
Go for melee,
underway.
go beat it up. This is another thing. Some ground units... Actually, no, they were actually doing damage, they just weren't able to kill it. That is the regeneration when it's in water. Even their structures are all biological, and they benefit from the upgrades, you know. If they get upgraded enough, you just can't kill them. But as you can see, you can beat the structure to death with your rifle. And your units in this mode, they have two different weapons modes. They have the standard weapon mode, which is automatically chosen for them, and then you have the individual modes. You can choose melee or ranged, and they will stick to that. And if the enemy gets close enough when they're using ranged, they will actually back up to continue firing on the target. However, in some scenarios, melee is more efficient, as you probably just saw.
Crab Shack responding. Sir, yes, sir.
So there's a bird glitched out very high in the air because it was kind of hovering there for a minute.
Double time it. This is Buchanan.
Look at you leveling up. Evaporation. Tactical nuke, you have to be level 6. Yeah.
Sir, yes, sir.
I could always just set up in the next set of options so every hero is spawned at max. Oh, hey!
Valkyrie unit production is
Aw,
underway.
you sneaky little.
Double time it.
Okay, for anybody who just saw that, these little guys, depending on where you set them, they can turn themselves into mines, and if anyone steps on them, they actually explode and kill them. So, you know, you could lose a unit instantly. Guys, you gonna shoot it?
Moving out, sir.
There we go.
Come on, you wimps.
Come on, you can do it.
Double time it.
You're armed to the teeth. Oh no, that's what it was. They didn't win by because their base survived. They won because they still have survivor camps under their control. And they use them for biomass farms. And something I really love about Maelstrom, it's an old game, but the fact you can zoom right into the tiny little infantry that mean next to nothing. Yes, they're all the same model, but I mean, you can zoom right into them, they still look decently detailed.
Moving out, sir.
Now we just need to go in and start beating them out of their own home down here, and the water level has receded a bit, but it's also going back up from what I can see. So they've captured mutagen, well, they've built mutagen pumps again, and they're starting to go back up.
Moving out, sir.
Oh,
Come on, you wimps.
which one of you is it? Mammon? This is Mammon. This is one of their hero units. He's the main one that spawns, and you can spawn Origa and the other ones from him. However, Mammon, when he dies, all you have to do is just capture any of the survivor compounds, and from that structure you can create a biothrall. From a biothrall, if he's dead, you can convert a biothrall to him, and in turn begin the cycle again. And there's no difference between Mammon and Origa other than their abilities. And primary heroes, such as Buchanan here, are used to summon your secondary heroes, and secondary heroes each have unique abilities related to them.
Sir, yes, sir. Hit him.
I know I'm just amassing helicopters in the back
This
again,
is
but I
the
mean...
wrecking yard. You drive it.
And
we got it.
anybody tell me that amassing helicopters isn't an entertaining moment in any video game whenever you're given command of them. Can you actually hit it from there? They actually can. They're slapping it very, very, very slowly. And you see, look at the health regeneration. They're all hitting it, but you can see it actually going back up just enough that it's actually countering. If it was just one or two of them, they wouldn't have been able to kill it.
Come on, you wimps. Moving out,
Yeah.
sir.
And this is how you're going to kill everything. You're literally just going to swim over it. In most maps where it gets flooded, most units, infantry class, can swim no matter what.
Moving out, sir!
We rule the skies!
Come on, you X!
Yeah, you do rule the skies. Now, could you
This is Valkyrie. Go ahead. Location locked.
go ahead
We're
and
moving
just
to
start
intercept.
swarming stuff that I don't need the enemy to have control of?
Location locked. We're moving to intercept.
Because nothing says no skill like
There's a
sending
fire,
a
boss.
bunch of helicopters in to do
Rendezvous
infantry's
at your
job.
location.
And the next group I'll play as will be the aliens because they, in my eyes, are the most unique and entertaining out of every single group in the game.
Location locked. We're moving to intercept.
Well, out of each group, there's only 3, so I can't say every, because there's not some never-ending number of them. But they are, by far, my favorite because they're an all-biological race, similar to the Zerg from StarCraft, except for they've mutated and changed themselves because they destroyed their own home.
This is Valkyrie.
Due
Go
to
ahead.
an over-farming, natural resource and everything, they just destroyed themselves for literally no other reason than to exploit their own world for resources that they were
Where's the
irreplaceable.
fire, boss?
Oh, you can see one of the hero units start to grab the helicopter and start to pull it down.
Come on, you X! They're all over me!
And yes, I know that a few of my units are dying to friendly fire right now, but there's not much I can do to prevent that. Because, I mean, I'm
We're hit. We're going.
kind of dropping like flies right from the air.
Sir! Yes, sir! Double time it! Hit 'em!
Come on, destroy the building. Start going up to it and slapping it.
Oh, I got a situation
That's what
here.
you do. Yeah, there you go. That slapping animation.
Something's out there, anything friendly?
A real drill sergeant would be horrified by what he's seeing right now. They're beating it with their own weapon. They're not using the butt of the gun. No, 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 no. They're literally swimming up to it and slapping it with the barrel. I bet that a lot of military people that if any of you actually watch this and you could see them slap something with the barrel of their gun, how wrong is that? In every single thing I've ever seen, heard, or anything like that, I'm always told that if you're gonna hit anything, use the butt of the gun or try and avoid literally taking the barrel away from the target. And yet that is precisely the opposite of what this group of infantry does. They literally they slap it. And that's only when they're swimming. When they're actually walking, they actually melee it decently. They walk up and they slap it with the butt of their guns. Yeah. That's the end of the video. We won. I'm going to go ahead and edit it down, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and if you have any scenarios that I should set up and play on the channel, feel free to leave it below. And the 3 factions, again, if you want me to play a specific one in a certain scenario, they are the Aliens, the Hog NT, the Ascension, the hyper-advanced humans that they are a company that focused on advancement at all costs. So genetic research, advanced technology, advanced robotics, just about anything that you'd think of science fiction is basically rolled into them. And then Remnants, current day, slightly dated infantry and stuff like that. Infantry, tanks, helicopters, things like that, but they're still useful as you saw. And the artillery there, you'd expect them to fire and have some bass or something like that from a subwoofer. Don't be disappointed, because they don't have bass, but there is still a thud. Albeit minuscule, but it's still there. But that's going to be it, everybody. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. If you have anything to say or would like to make a request for a scenario to play out against on certain maps, or if you just want to see a certain scenario, feel free to leave it below in the comment section. If you want to see more content like this or anything else, feel free to subscribe for more. And as always, everybody, I'll see you later.